And even though I'm covered in bruises and KT tape, I'm really happy that I'm just doing it. But I'm reclaiming something that it wasn't lost, but it was forgotten.
So this is, oh my God, this is so layered. Welcome to a conversation between two friends.
This is Alice.
And I'm David.
And this is Truthfully Yours.
We are by no means experts or teachers, just speaking honestly within the bounds of friendship. If you found your way here, maybe there's something in that honesty meant for you too.
We invite you to lean in, and perhaps you'll recognize your own journey in ours.
Alice gets real with her 18-year-old son about how to drink responsibly abroad, shares gratitude for her community group that has shifted, and rediscovers childhood joy through aerial fitness. This episode is about how life transitions are invitations to stop looking back and start running toward the joy that's been waiting for you. This is Truthfully Yours. Now here's Alice and David.
So I saw this quote today, and it made me think about a lot of things. And it's from T.S. Eliot. What we call the beginning is often the end. And to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from.
Love it.
So with that quote, here we are in June, and there is so much going on that I'm realizing that I'm definitely in a transitional phase and transitioning to a new season of life. It begins with my son, my third child, my last child, leaving right after high school graduation, which happens in less than 2 weeks, to Korea. He'll be traveling with a friend. And, I'm trying to do as much as I can to prepare him for the trip. He has been self-studying Korean very intensely the last 6 months. Like he wakes up at 6 a.m. and studies for about an hour and a half. And he even sings songs in Korean, and he has conversations with my mom in Korean. And so this trip feels very earned, in my opinion, because he's been working so hard.
I love that.
And I have a pretty honest relationship with him because I don't want to have one of those relationships with my kids like the type I had with my parents where, they tell you what not to do and then you just lie to their face or you just do things in secret. I'd rather them just do it in front of my face. And, if they have questions, let's have a talk about it and have real talk.
I'm going to pause you right there because that's a lot. Well, you have to first off all possess a certain level of wisdom to be like, do I need to say something right now because I'm going to alienate my child, or would I rather be involved in their lives? I think that's a great place to start. Have any of your children then gone and done something where you're like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst thing?
I'm not trying to brag about my kids, and it's going to sound like I'm bragging, but all 3 of them were pretty good. 2 of them definitely did not drink in high school. One of them did, and I knew. That confession came out when she got her wisdom teeth pulled and confessed all the car ride home without me prompting. And I had it on video, and when she came to, I showed her the video, and she was so confused at what she was watching, and she just started laughing, and I started laughing, and, it was awesome. It was so awesome.
That's great. I mean, me and my sisters were all really, really good kids. My parents got really lucky, but I did drink in high school. I mean, I remember that.
I just want to have a transparent relationship with them because I recognize that they're transitioning into adulthood, and I want to have a healthy relationship with them as an adult to an adult. With that said, this last weekend we were having lunch. He's sitting right next to me, and he looks at me, and he said, "Mom, my friends are telling me that they drink a lot in Korea." And I said, "Okay." And he's kind of looking at me to gauge my reaction. And I said, "Yes, this is true. They have a huge drinking culture, especially in college." I just laid it out for him, like real talk. I said, "You'll probably be approached to drink one of 2 alcohols. It's going to be soju or beer or the combination of soju and beer." So I basically said, "Look, this is what's going to happen. And you have a choice to drink or not to drink. If you decide to drink, I want to prepare you for it." And I know that he hasn't had a sip of alcohol in his life. So when he was asking me this, he was kind of nervous, but mainly excited. And I told him, every time you drink a shot, I would like you to drink a glass of water and have some food. Because when you're first starting to drink, the alcohol doesn't affect you right away. You have to give it a little bit of time. So this is a way you can pace yourself.
That's really good advice. Especially if you haven't been if you haven't drinking alcohol at all or a very little amount, and then you're in a foreign country without your parents, like a young adult trying to do it for the first time, good luck.
So we're having this conversation. You could just tell he just kind of smiled at me and patted me on the back. So I think he just appreciated the fact that I was just giving it to him how it's going to be without judging him and not telling him, don't do it. And so, there's things that are shifting. And I'm really excited for him because his life is going to be changed after this trip. His life is going to be shifting again when we move him into the dorm. And my life is shifting.
So one chapter's ending for Eli, another chapter is beginning. But that's also a new chapter for you.
I'm so cognizant of how things are shifting in my life right now. And it's a little bit unsettling, but because I'm aware and I have enough life experience behind me, I know what it means for me. You and I, we've talked about this, our pickleball group. I've played in this group for years. It's also shifting. People are moving away. They're starting families. Interests are changing. People are playing elsewhere, mainly indoors, now that Seattle has several indoor clubs. And I really miss the way it used to be. I miss the constancy of it. And, at the beginning of the group, there were 3 of us. And, there's the quirky intellect, because he's kind of like that quirky uncle that everyone loves and everybody knows. And then there's the, unofficial coach who loves to help people and gives them tips on their games.
Student of the game.
That's a good way to put it.
And then you, let's characterize you. The spark plug of the group.
And it was the 3 of us. We were always looking for a 4th player. And this is how the group began. There would be a 4th player who would be drawn in by invitation of somebody, one of 3 of us. And they would play with us like every day. So it'd be like the 4 of us. And then what would end up happening is that person would shift out of the group for whatever reason. And then another person would come in. And then all of a sudden our group grew to over 30 people. It really started with the 3 of us. Of the 3 of us, my role was more of organizer, but it was definitely the 3 of us. And I really appreciate the other 2 because like with the intellect, I'll just call him Uncle Intellect. He reads historical nonfiction books and then he will write his footnotes all around the pages so he could write about it later and publish it online on his own blog that nobody knows about. So he does it just for him. And he has a pen name and everything. When you read his writing, you're like, oh my God, this guy is so smart. People from our group know him as the sports bettor. He also went to an Ivy League school. So in our larger group chat, I once started a rumor that they wrote a book about him and then it got turned into a movie and people believed me. But he never corrected them. It was so believable.
It is believable. Yes, exactly.
It is believable. And then the other one, the student of the game, always willing to help, always giving tips, always just wanting to be of service to others. With this person, he's such a good student of the game that his aim is so good that he's always hitting people with the ball, like body bagging them intentionally and aiming. And then when you call him out on it, he pretends like it wasn't intentional, but we all know it was intentional. That's always my funny thought when I think about this person. But I will say today, I got him good. I haven't hit him for a long time, so I was very happy. We had a good laugh about it.
And you were not aiming either, were you?
And then there's me, and I'm kind of like the mom of the group. In
Yes.
fact, that's how the younger people of our group identify me when they try to explain who I am to others. And, our group in the last few years has grown where people have started families. We've had 3 babies born, 4th on the way. We have people moving away. And, those are the changes. Those are the transitions. It made me realize from the time the group started with just the 3 of us, what made it really special. But the group is different now and people have moved on and priorities have shifted. And the 3 of us, well, we still show up, but maybe with just a little less commitment to the dynamic of how the group once started. And that makes me a little bit sad, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like, starting off with this quote, the end is just a beginning. It does feel like you're almost reading an obituary about a dynamic that existed that maybe doesn't exist anymore. I detect like notes of sadness, but mostly gratitude for what it was.
Right. For sure. I mean, I'm so grateful for this group. Like every member, each member was invited in not only for their ability, but because they're just good people. and they all got along. And we all still do get along really well.
Yeah, there's just people bring so much of themselves and what they've learned and learned about how they navigate through life onto the court, into the group dynamic per se. And so I think what you and the other two founding members have done a really good job is sort of acting as gatekeeper for people that possess a certain level of emotional maturity and kindness just in general, and that like they can come and have a bad day and none of us really mind. They can come and have a great day and whoop up on everybody, and yet it's still like people are still friendly. I not only play in this group, but I also play a lot of just open drop-in play, and there you get just all kinds, and you get the guys that refuse to play with women.
Mm-hmm.
You get the guys that literally think they are so good the minute they walk on the court that they're just level of disdain they have for everyone else on the court is palpable.
Right.
Just like, where does this attitude come from? And so it was really nice to have that. It is really nice to have that sort of safe space to play.
Mm-hmm. It is a safe space because I'll tell you, everybody has their own reason for being in this group. But what I wanted for the group, that I still want for the group, is there to be this social place of belonging where you can just show up and you're going to have at least 3 of us who are always there. You're going to be greeted warmly.
Probably some warm baked goods, some soft tunes in the background, you know, like
I do bring baked goods and I bring music.
And a level of play that allows you to work on your skills that you want to work on. And if you just want to just play for a little bit, just play for a little bit. And people that are willing to drill, which is very rare.
This is right. But the thing I like about this group is it's just a place where people can just play in the sense of your inner child comes out and you just have fun and that pure joy where everything you're going through in those 2 hours just kind of disappears into the background, and you can be silly, you could be goofy, and no one's going to judge you. And, you know, it's been really a lovely group. But, you know, as the group changes and the needs change and people are moving on and shifting, the feeling of it for me is it's still there, but it's just quieter. With that quote, I'm also thinking about the things that it might be coming to an end, but the things that are beginning and opening up for me. And for like the last 25 years, my energy has always gone to other people. I'm asking myself, what's next for me? What do I want? I had been thinking about things I wanted to do that I was curious about and then didn't do or was too afraid to do. And so I joined an aerial studio. I just thought this would be a really good way for me to test my upper body strength. And let me just tell you, it was the most humbling first week I've had ever. I'm covered in bruises. I'm covered in KT tape. My shoulder feels like it's going to rip out from my left arm. My forearm hurts so bad, covered in tape. And my bottom half of my leg from banging it against a steel pole in a ring is covered in bruises. And it's so hard because you're lifting body weight over and over again. Like even last night, I went for 3 hours and I learned all these different climbs on a silk rope, but you're lifting yourself, your full body up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. But holy cow, David, let me just tell you, I had no idea. Like you and I have talked a lot about childhood trauma, right? We have memories. We can remember the things that hurt us. But you know what being part of the studio has done for me? It reminded me of certain childhood memories. Oh my gosh, that were so fun. And I totally forgot about, and I would not have ever recalled it had I not gone to the studio. And let me tell you, when I was a kid, they don't have jungle gyms anymore, but I used to always hang off the jungle gym and do flips off them.
Did you do the cherry bomb? That's what we called it when we were a kid, where you would, there's like a vertical bar and you would hook your knees over it and you'd hold on and then you would like let your hands go upside down and swing up, let go with your knees. And
Yes.
I did the one time and it landed straight on my head.
Oh no.
And I like hurt my back so bad I couldn't walk. I was 8 years old.
And all of a sudden, these memories, these really good memories unlocked. And I can't tell you the sense of joy I felt doing these things. And then the other thing, one of the modalities is a silk rope, which I love. I saw a performance of silk rope that just blew my mind last year. And you know what memory that one opened up? So when I was in third grade at my elementary school, we used to have to do something called the presidential fitness test. And we had to do a rope climb. And there was like a doorbell on the ceiling. I was the champion of doing that at my school. As I'm climbing this rope over and over again, which is so hard if you're pulling your body weight up, right? You get to the top and then I would release and I would do it over again because I'm learning different types of climbs on that rope. I felt like I was in third grade again. And it made me so happy. And even the instructor was like, you're really good at that for never having done this before. So I felt like really excited about this. And even though I'm covered in bruises and KT tape, I'm really happy that I'm just doing it. But I'm reclaiming something that it wasn't lost, but it was forgotten.
So this is, oh my God, this is so layered. So not only are you filling time that had been previously devoted to something else, but it is also allowing you to rediscover the joys that you had as a child. And I had something very similar when my sister and I were like exploring the cliffs of Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover in England. It's just this giant national park right there along the ocean, and just so much wind in your face. And I was just running and climbing rocks, and I felt like that, 8-year-old boy, just like, this is my playground. This is my giant playground. And like, it wasn't dangerous, but it was like, how high can I climb? How far out on this cliff edge can I go? And it just recaptured that feeling that I had as a kid. And I love it. So you have sort of reclaimed some time. You are like, cool, more time. What can I do with it?
I'm in the season of life that there are things that are transitioning and some things are coming to an end or they're changing in a way that doesn't make it bad, but it does require me to think about things that I can start and begin new. And then that prompted me to write down a whole list of things I want to do that I've never done. I'm going to run towards them. I'm not going to tell myself you can't. I'm not going to give myself reasons not to. I'm just going to do it because now I have time.
Why not try new things? Why not?
If you enjoyed today's conversation, subscribe to Truthfully Yours wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes weekly on Thursdays. We'd love for you to share this with someone who might need to hear it. For more about the show and Alice and David, visit truthfullyyours.com.